All right, we are live. I am live streaming this morning just to give my thoughts on a few things. As I look back on the last year of being really what I call the all in solopreneur, I've learned a lot of lessons. And I was editing my YouTube series today, Pushing 40, which is kind of my weekly blog where I'm trying to talk about improving my wealth, health, and overall self. And I came across a video that I shot earlier in the week, and I was going to include it in the Pushing 40 episode for this week, but I decided ultimately not to. Because I thought, why don't I just live stream it here? And so, kind of like a director's cut version, I figured I'd come on here first, introduce what I'm doing, and then live stream the actual video itself. It's about 6 minutes where I'm giving kind of my lessons learned. I had initially thought about, I saw actually, no, I saw online somebody talking about all the things that you need to do to kind of generate, a good amount of money per month. And I realized what they're trying to do and what they're promoting is not the right way. And I learned a lot of lessons over the course of 2023 as a solopreneur. And so I wanted to share some of those lessons learned. Some of them I learned the hard way, but ultimately I think this video is going to help, bring some clarity, I think, to those people who are either solopreneur, they're an entrepreneur, they're leading a business, they're maybe doing it on their own. I think that this video will help to, again, bring some of that clarity. So here we go. I'm going to switch over to a video that, again, pre-recorded earlier this week, just where I was sharing some thoughts, literally over breakfast, about what this journey is really all about. All right, so here we are, and I want to talk about the importance of having your own plan and system, and realizing that you don't have to follow the advice that you see online. Because here's the reality, is that I see a lot of people online who are espousing and promoting this idea that you need to DM 100 people a day. Well, you don't need to do that. That you need to comment 50 to 100 times per day on different posts. That you need to spend countless hours, following random people, sending your maximum allowable connection requests. You don't need to have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers. You just need to have the right followers. You don't need bots. You don't need pods. You don't have to care about the number of likes and comments and stuff that you get or the shares that you get. But some people do. They focus on that so much. It's crazy to me that there's people who are espousing this idea, this belief that you need to do all this work to make 20K a month. Like last year, I made 20K plus a month multiple times throughout the course of the year. My first year as a solopreneur, clearing 6 figures as a solopreneur without doing any of that shit that people talked about. So here's what I found were some of the key strategies that really helped me as I kind of grew throughout 2023 in terms of becoming a solopreneur. First thing I realized is that focusing on your follower count is a shit KPI. Because the key is actually building the right audience, not just accepting anybody in your network. Because the reality is a lot of people are trying to sell you, especially on platforms like LinkedIn, and they're not going to engage with your content. But if you can find the right people, that's obviously important. So building the right audience is important. I think the second thing that I learned is that you don't want to waste your time playing small. Like low ticket sucks, like big time. And by that I mean like you got to charge what you're worth. And I found that at one point early on in the journey, I tried focusing a little bit more on low ticket stuff and not finding a lot of success. And then realizing if you just focus on higher ticket prices and you just get a select few customers, that can make the difference for you overall. It's less stress, obviously less customers you need to fulfill and deal with, but it's going to be so much better in the long run. The next thing I thought that was really important is to build the right offer. Early on in my journey, I built some offers that didn't resonate. And it wasn't until I got feedback that I was able to make tweaks and adjustments and ultimately find some success, which then led to more opportunities overall throughout the course of the year and really helped transform my year more than anything else. So build the right offer, get feedback. That's going to be so important as you continue to grow. Now, this next one might seem self-serving, and maybe it is, but I actually found that it was very, very helpful for me. And it's been helpful definitely for the clients that I worked with in the last year. It's batch create your video content. You can set yourself up for months in advance. So whether you're working with my team and we're doing it, obviously we do it as done for you as possible. We're recording, we're editing, we're captioning, we even schedule a social media for your release across your platforms. Or you do it yourself, right? And you record content in bulk by yourself on your own time. It's going to set you up and give you time back. Because if you try and do one post, here and there and everywhere, it can be a lot and it can be hard and can be difficult, but sit there and batch creating your content can make a world of difference. Like I'll give you a real transparency where I'm at right now this year. In 2024, I'm completely set up. All my social media that I would do that is needed, like for 5, 7 days a week, depending on the week, is scheduled. I have it all done for the entire year. Now that gives me a ton of time back. Now it also allows me to focus on other content that I want to create and put on events and fulfill for my customers. I don't got to worry about having a presence online because my stuff's automated and always going to be pumping. And it gives me more time to do more because I've already done it well in advance. One day I shot 227 videos. I've added videos and other content then since that time, which has allowed me to have enough content to get through the rest of 2024. And here we are early in the year and I'm already set. Okay, are you set? You can be, but it's just going to take the right approach and maybe the right team in order to help you do that. The other thing I thought that was important that I learned as a solopreneur last year is that consistency is key. On social media, if you look at it this way, there's a lot of lurkers. There are people who just kind of sit there in the background. They see your content, but they don't like it. They don't make comments. They don't share your content, but they're there. And if you show up consistently enough, then you'll get people who want to work with you. There were people who worked with me last year that I didn't really have much conversations with because they eventually saw that, hey, they've built up this know, like, and trust with me enough by seeing my content that they reached out to me. I didn't reach out to them. I didn't do the bullshit DM strategy. I didn't go and contact so many people and follow so many people and try and focus on growing a following. I just focused on pumping out content. And those who wanted to work with me did. And it helped. The last thing I'll say here before I run off and actually go and shoot more content is to fuck the algorithm. At the end of the day, optimize your content for people, not for robots or not for what you think the platform is ultimately expecting you to do. Put out content that is going to be personal, it's going to be real, it's going to share your story, it's going to share your experiences, you can just share your personality. I think that's critical and that's important. So again, if you want to know more, if you're looking for any advice, personalized in any way, I do offer monthly coaching, or hell, I have a free Zoom link that you can just hop on a 30-minute call with me and we can discuss content and your strategy. Again, I hope that this was beneficial for you and it doesn't come across as too much of a rant, but I just figured, what the hell, let's just hit record here and go live. So that's it. Right? That is as simple as it gets. I thought I wanted to share, again, some lessons that I learned. Some of them I learned really the hard way. But I think back to this journey of being a solopreneur and trying to do a lot myself, that it wasn't easy. I'll be honest, building a business as a solopreneur is lonely. You're stuck in your own head sometimes. And I think I didn't cover it there, necessarily on the video itself, but because it's so lonely, that's where there's the power of really trying to build your network and having the right allies, finding people who are like-minded, just like you, who are maybe going through the same struggles, the same trials and tribulations, the challenges that might exist. The more that you can strengthen and build your network, the better you're going to be overall. But you got to connect with people. And I think 2024 really is probably the year, for me at least, that I'm going to really focus on connection. Obviously I'm pumping out content. That's going to continue to happen. As I said on the video, we're doing a lot in terms of, I'll point to the brand, I guess, all in content here. And as it says behind me, I talk about betting on yourself and going all in and taking that risk and that chance. That's what I think a lot of being a solopreneur is all about. It is a bit of a gamble, trying to bet on yourself, and you're not always going to win. I tell you, there's probably more times that I felt like I lost than I won last year, but I'm so glad I did it. It was the best thing I ever could have done. Becoming a solopreneur was hard. It was a decision that I wish I made many, many years ago, but obviously things happen for a reason, and I needed to go through the various experiences, the ups and downs, and meet certain people and work with certain people in order to have that confidence to eventually go all in. So it's the best thing you could possibly do. If you're ever interested in learning more about either my journey or you're looking for tips, tricks, and advice, as I said in that video that I just shared, I always, I offer coaching, monthly coaching on this. I do it all virtual because I think, again, solopreneurs should be able to do things from anywhere in the world. You should be just tied to a laptop. You shouldn't be tied to a physical location. But I do that. Obviously, we're doing video batch creation. We make it as done for you as possible. Editing your video, recording it, captioning it, scheduling it for release on social media. Like one day working together with me, we'll set you up for months in advance. That is no joke. That is not just slogan. That is not a just a tagline. That's a reality. Like there is no reason that people should be stressed out about video creation. I'll do it for you, and I do it for you because I find it fun. That's the thing I think that's really important. Like earlier this week, I was having a conversation with someone, and they were, talking about that they work for someone right now, and that they're thinking about how do they jump into the entrepreneurial space. And I asked them two questions. I said, what do you love to do, and what do you do better than anyone else? That's the thing that you need to ask yourself if you're thinking about ever starting a business or trying to really bet on yourself in some way, whether it's a side hustle or whatever it is. What do you love to do? Can that be monetized? But what do you truly do better than anyone else? I went through this journey over 2023 where, I did some coaching and I did some consulting and I did some stuff on AI implementation. Obviously, I have my other company, Hire For Me, where I was offering done for you hiring support for those people who are looking to grow and scale. But the thing that I really loved to do was batch creating content. To me, it's a game, it's fun. And so as I started doing more of that on the freelance side, I started to realize there's a need here to help make the lives of other fellow entrepreneurs easier. Let them focus on their business while I can focus on growing their business through content. And we can batch create enough content in that single session to set them up for months ahead of schedule. It's no joke when I said earlier on that I have all of my content for 2024 done. Like all of my content, every social media video, and I primarily do videos, of course, is scheduled all the way until the end of 2024. We are what? Let me look, the 13th of January, and I am done. That is the power of batch creation. I batch created enough to make sure I'm ahead of schedule. Now, I'll continue to record content throughout. I'll continue to go live like I'm doing here now. I'll continue to do webinars. I'm going to be doing events. My goal is to do 4 events this year throughout the Windsor-Essex region and probably some virtual online events as well. But like, I'm continuing to focus on working ahead. Getting ahead, I think, for my own brand gives me more time to focus on the customers, the clients, and what I really refer to them as the partners that I work with. That's what it's all about. Getting ahead. When you get ahead, life becomes easier, business becomes easier. It's a major lesson that I learned as a solopreneur, and that's why I wanted to share that today. Again, so if you're watching this after the fact, after the live stream, because I didn't announce that I was going live today, next time I will, shoot me a message. If you have questions on anything, or you got some comments, feel free to leave the comments wherever you're seeing this. Right now, I'm live streaming it over Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter, or X, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this is fun. Glad to go live. I will be going live more often. One of the things that I will be doing that I just thought of on the spot, actually, as I'm sitting here, is that I'm going to take a lot of the episodes that I did for my weekly vlog called Pushing 40, and I'm going to live stream those. I'm going to live stream those, come on before and after, talk about maybe things that happened that week or after the fact. This week's episode, which will be going live later on this afternoon, is really all about the solopreneur journey and a lot of lessons that I've learned. As some of you know who have been following me, I've been gone to Mexico for the last few weeks, just working remotely on behalf of my business and for our clients, while trying to enjoy vacation with my wife. And it was a great time away, but this week got back to reality, got back to a little bit of crappy weather as well. But throughout this episode, I share a lot of lessons because I've been in such a reflective state for the last little while about kind of what's going on, advice for other people. So if you're a solopreneur, you're thinking of becoming a solopreneur, probably this is the episode that you want to watch. But I drop lots of nuggets throughout the previous 23 episodes. There's 52 episodes that are going to be happening as I lead up to turning 40 in August of 2024. And so I'm sharing a lot of lessons that I've learned, the ups, the downs, being really transparent as all hell throughout this entire journey as well. All right, that's it for me. I got lots of other stuff to do. I hope you have a good rest of your Saturday or whenever you're watching this video. And as always, as it says on the wall, go all in.